Welcome to my YouTube channel! So this video is about media and information sources. Upon completion of this video, you could be able to learn the indigenous library, internet as media and information sources. At ano nga ba yung mga pros and cons of the different types of media as sources of information at yung mga things to consider when evaluating information. Start na natin. So, umpisahan natin dito. Sabi niya, your information needs to dictate your choice of media and information sources. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi dahil sa yan ang kailangan mong information, pwede mo nang puntahan yung mga media na gusto mo lang o trip mo lang na puntahan. Hindi. Kung ano yung kailangan mong information, merong dapat na media and information sources na puntahan. Yan. So, yan yung matututunan nyo later on. And pangalawa, sabi niya dito, ang mga sources natin ay hindi pare-parehas or hindi sila created equally. Pwedeng binanggit ito sa isang source, pwede rin binanggit sa isang source pa, pero yung isa mas detalyado, yung isa pahapyaw lang. So, nakadepende pa rin. Lagi nating tatandaan na magkakaiba ang information na pwedeng ibigay sa atin ng mga judging the value of information is not as easy as it seems. So, hindi ganun kadali kung paano mo i-judge na accurate, reliable yung data information na meron ka or nakuha mo sa sources na yon. So, madami siyang process, may process siya. At yan din yung matututunan nyo mamaya. And sabi dito, information is processed and refined. But galing siya sa katotohanan at dapat talagang ni-research mo siya at dapat talagang base siya sa mga valid sources. And next, sabi niya dito, information can come from virtually anywhere. Pwedeng makuha sa media, sa blog, sa personal experience, sa book, sa journal and magazine article, pwede rin sa expert opinion. Pwede yan yung interview, ganyan, encyclopedias and web pages. And the type of information you need will change depending on the question you are trying to answer. So, yan yung lagi nating tatandaan na nakadepende sa kailangan nating information ang magiging media na gagamitin natin. Hindi dahil sa gusto mong masagot yung ganitong klaseng question, okay na lang sa'yo, nasa newspaper lang titingin. Okay na lang sa'yo, nasa social media titingin. Mali yun. So, nakadepende sa question natin kung saan tayo dapat pumunta na media or ano dapat ang maging information sources natin. Sabi nga niya dito, ang information is available to us in many ways and different format. Pwedeng sa published book, doon ka dapat kumuha, sa article, sa newspaper, sa web pages, sa videos, sa mga photographs at marami pang iba na pwedeng maging information sources. So, in order to effectively locate, evaluate, and incorporate yung mga wide variety of information into our knowledge base, kailangan natin magkaroon or maintindihan ang media literacy. So, yan yung isang skill or masasabi nating critical 21st century skill sa ngayon. Then, these are the sources of information. So, we have the indigenous knowledge, yung library, and the internet. So, start na muna natin dito sa definition ng indigenous bago natin alamin kung ano ba yung tinatawag na indigenous knowledge. So, ang indigenous ay native or kaya local or originating or produces naturally in a particular region or locality. So, start na tayo dito sa ano nga ba ang indigenous knowledge? So, when we said indigenous knowledge, it is unconventional source of information. So, nare-relate siya either through people media or through indigenous media. So, ang indigenous knowledge ay yung tinatawag na local knowledge. Ibig sabihin ng indigenous knowledge ay local knowledge and the knowledge that is unique to a given culture or society. And madalas ang indigenous knowledge ay kakontra or kabaligtaran ng international knowledge na nage-generate sa mga university o sa mga research institution and private firms. And ang indigenous knowledge most often is not written down. Indigenous knowledge is oral tradition of communication. Kaya nga sabi sa definition kanina, hindi siya naka-written ang indigenous knowledge. And store information in memory. And information exchange is face-to-face, and information are contained within the border of the community. Isang example ng indigenous knowledge, yung pag may mga sakit, diba? Sabi ng lola ko, ganito daw ang pwedeng maging gamot. Pero kung pagbabasehan natin yung universal knowledge na, let's say for example, yung ganitong klaseng damo, hindi nakakagamot, diba? Base yon sa universal knowledge. Pero base sa lola mo or sa mga ninuno mo or sa mga mas ahead pa sa'yo or sa barangay ninyo, sabihin natin na yung ganong klaseng damo nakakagamot. So wala siyang paper written. So wala siyang, pero proven by your community. So yun yung isang example ng indigenous knowledge. So the information, sabi niya dito, are contained within the border of the community. Yan. Ang ano dito sa indigenous knowledge madalas ay yung mga nasa tribe o kaya yung may mga group of people na kung saan meron silang isang paniniwala or may pagkakaisa sa mga paniniwala. And ano nga ba yung tinatawag na indigenous communication? So kanina sabi natin ang indigenous knowledge nare-retain lang sa memory and more on oral. Or more on face-to-face siya pag mag-share ka ng ganong klaseng data and information. Ang indigenous communication, di ba from the word communication, yun yung way. So, ang indigenous communication sa indigenous knowledge is transmission of information through local channels or forms. So, it is a means by which the culture is preserved, handed down, and adapted. So, yan yung sinasabi ko kanina that isa sa indigenous knowledge ay yung ano natin, yung pag-maintain natin ng culture natin, na sabi ng lola ko, sabi ng tribe namin, sabi ng lugar namin, ganito dapat. So, yun yung isang example. And next, sabi niya dito, ano nga ba yung mga indigenous media? So, the indigenous media is a form of media expression conceptualized, produced, and circulated by indigenous people around the globe as vehicle for communication. And we have here indigenous media, also known as community media. So, any form of media that is, una, created and controlled by the community, for the community, about the community, and by the community. Ang indigenous media is owned, controlled, and managed by indigenous people in order for them to develop and produce culturally appropriate information in the language understood by the community by utilizing indigenous materials and resources, reflecting community needs and interests, visions and aspirations, and independent from vested interest group. And next, we have a forms of indigenous media. So, ito yung mga forms ng indigenous media. So, pwede kayong gumamit ng traditional media, di ba? Ng gatherings and social organizations. Dito, madalas nagkakaroon ng indigenous, mamimit mo ang indigenous media sa gatherings and social organizations. And sa direct observations, pwede rin sa records like written, curved oral, and syempre, yung oral instruction. So, yan yung na nagiging form of indigenous media. Then next, we have the indigenous media example, Northern Dispatch Weekly, yung Northeast Philippines, yung Gelora FM Indonesia, yung Rumway Television Indonesia. Yan yung mga sample ng indigenous media na mamimit natin o na-meet na ninyo. And yung indigenous communities known to adhere to oral traditional communication. So, madalas ang indigenous communities, oral ang ginagamit nila to transfer knowledge. Kasi nga tulad nga ng sabi natin kanina, ang indigenous knowledge is na madalas hindi siya written. Madalas oral siyang nasasabi natin and naipapasa yung knowledge na yun from generation to other generation. Another, indigenous media as tool for expression and participation. So, sabi niya dito, information offered by indigenous media is primarily to open up other space for the discussion of indigenous people issues and condition. Kasi nga kagaya nga ng sabi natin, ang mga indigenous knowledge yan yung mga knowledge na kumukontra madalas sa world knowledge o yung mga knowledge na napag-aaralan natin sa school, 'di ba? So hindi siya madalas nagkokontrahan sila. So iba yung paniniwala ng ganito, iba yung study nila o iba yung paniniwala nila kumpara doon sa nasa aklat. Yan, kumpara sa nasa aklat, sabihin natin na yung kagaya nga ng sample ko kanina na sa barangay nyo, naniniwala sila na yung ganitong klaseng damo nakakagamot, pero sa aklat walang sinabi na ganun sa aklat. Pero yung mga nasa baryo, may paniniwala sila na nakakagaling. So in the ASEAN region, there are indigenous organizations that have initiated the promotion of freedom of expression and have increased access to information among indigenous people. And indigenous knowledge enhance one's sense of national identity also. And move tayo ngayon sa what is library. So, ang library, isa siyang place in which literary, musical, artistic, or references materials are kept for use but not for sale. So, yung tatandaan natin. So, ang example ng laman ng library are books, manuscript, recordings, or films. And sabi niya dito, ang library expected to select and provide you content that are easy to access and came into existence because of the birth of printing press. Another definition, sabi niya dito sa library, no longer static of limited to purely collecting physical materials for archiving, sabi niya dito, but has extended to acquiring new modes of providing information such as the use of digital sources and facilities that utilize media. So, hindi dahil sa inisip nyo librarian, ang nasa isip na lang natin puro aklat na hard copy ang makikita ninyo. May mga library na din na nag-utilize na sila ng computerization na kung saan pagpasok mo dun sa library, pwedeng sa computer ka na lang umupo and mga document or e-sources na ang ipro-provide nila sa'yo or mga digital sources na. So, hindi dahil sa sinabing library, puro printed lang. Hindi. May mga library na nag-utilize na rin ng digital sources. And next, we have the main role, sabi niya dito, is to organize and provide you access to information. And sabi niya dito, is steward of good information collection. Kasi ang madalas, ang nilalagay talaga sa library, ano yan, nasala. Hindi ka pwedeng maglagay sa library ng kung ano-ano na lang, ng mga data information. Ang mga data sa information, nasala yan. Kung ano yung mga dapat or legit na mga information, doon nila nilalagay. And at the same time, nakagrupo-grupo sa library, alam mo kung saan yung ganitong section, yung para sa ganitong subject. So, madali mo na lang mapupuntahan. So, meron tayong 4 major types ng library. Yung academic library, public library, special library, at saka national library. So, ang academic library is a library which is attached to academic institution, kagaya ng school, college, tsaka university. Ang academic library, mostly sinaserve niya yung mga student, faculty, teacher ng isang school or ng isang academic institution. Ang main objective nitong academic library ay makapagbigay ng minimum or ng maximum learning materials para sa mga estudyante, para sa mga teacher, at para sa mga nagtatrabaho doon sa school na yon or sa university na yon. So, mostly, ang academic library ay nakakategory sa school library, college library, at saka university library. Then, meron din tayo dito yung tinatawag na public library. Ang public library ay sinaserve niya yung cities and towns of all type. So, ang public library also called circulating library. So, it's a library which is accessible to the public and generally funded from public sources. So, nanggagaling sa tax natin ang pinangsusupport dito sa public library and may be operated by the civil servant. And yung taxing bodies for public library may be at any level from local to national central government level. So, the public library is an excellent model of government as at its best. Sabi niya dito, a locally controlled public good, it serves as every individual freely. And next, we have yung tinatawag nating special library. So, ang special library become popular since the beginning daw ng 20th century. Ang special library is one which serves a particular group of people, kagaya ng mga employee, mga employee sa isang public or private government, and mga staff or member ng professional or research ng organization. And such library deals essentially in information. And mostly, ang special library ay mga library na sa specialized environments kagaya ng hospital, corporation, museums, military, private business, and government. So, nakapokus lang kung ano yung need na data information ng specialized environment na yung kagaya sa hospital, yun lang yung mga laman na madalas nung library nila. So, punong-puno sila ng about health na mga data and information. So, syempre, pag military, punong-puno din naman ang library nila ng mga about military section naman na mga resources. So, next, we have the National Library. So, ang National Library to serve as the preeminent repository of information for that certain country. Ang National Library is a library specifically established by the government of the country para ma-serve siya as repository of information of that country. So, ang pagkakaiba nitong National Library sa public library, these rarely allow citizens to borrow books. So, often, they include numerous rare, valuable, or significant works. Ang National Library is the library which has the duty of collecting and preserving yung literature of the nation within and outside the country. So, thus, National Library are those library whose community is the nation at large. And next, ito yung tatlong klase ng academic library. Yung school library, college library, and yung university library. Ang school library, mostly is a learning laboratory, sabi niya dito, providing a variety of instructional media or material essentially for optimum support of the education program. Ang purpose ng school library is to attain the objective of the educational program. So, it concerns on the development of effective methods of thinking, in calculation of social attitude, acquisition of important information, and promoting growth and development among sa children. Madalas ang school library nasa level lang yan ng mga kinder to 12, mula K1 hanggang K12. Yan, or from kinder, elementary, to high school. Then next, we have the college library. Ang college library performs an important function in educational process. So, ang college without a library ay parang puno na walang ugat. Kasi nga, the status of every college is measured to the position of the library that it maintains. So, hence, every college library should become a teaching instrument in itself. So, a college library is expected to support the objective of the college. Thus, the basic function of the college library ay to assess its parent body or yung mga estudyante and teachers to carry out its program. So, madalas din ang college library, doon mo makikilala kung anong bang klaseng college yung meron kayo. So, per college, meron silang kanya-kanyang library. So, hindi lang yung pinaka-main library. Meron din siyang sariling library na kung saan nagsiserve din siya as a repository ng mga nagiging works ng mga nasa college na yon. Then next, we have the university library. So, ang university library ay isa sa pinaka-important na parte ng isang university. So, kasi ang library, you can do without a university, sabi niya dito, where a university cannot function without a library. So, ang university library ay isang integral part ng institution. So, it is primarily maintained for the benefit of the student, officers, faculty, members, and those who are engaged in research work. So, it plays a very important role in the national life of the community by acquiring material for educational use for the benefit of student and teaching department. So, yan yung tatlong klase ng academic library. Then next, we have what is internet? Ano nga ba yung internet? So, ang internet is a global computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities consisting of interconnected network using standardized communication protocol. So, pag sinabi nating internet, gumagamit na tayo ng network or gumagamit na tayo ng cloud. Yan. So, the next, how to evaluate information na nahanap natin sa internet. Kasi sa sobrang dami ng sources and information sources sa internet, hindi na natin malalaman kung paano tayo mag-evaluate ng information na mahanap natin sa internet. So, magagawa natin yan by the authorship. Titingnan ninyo kung sino yung author, kung legit ba o expert ba siya sa sinulat niya. Yung publishing body, kung yung publishing body na bayan na yun is registered or may kakayahan na talagang nag-aaral sila about sa ganong klaseng study or ganong ideas and information. And kailangan nyo ding tignan yung accuracy and nabe-verify ba? Meron ba silang sources base doon or nasusuportahan ba yung claim nila ng information? And syempre, kailangan yung currency ng data and information na kukunin ninyo. Kung kapapublish lang yan kahapon, iba na yung magiging balita din ngayon kung sakaling news man yan. Then next, ito yung mga things to consider when evaluating information. Una, reliability. Pangalawa, accuracy. Pangatlo, value. Pang-apat, yung authority. Then yung last is yung timeliness. Ito yung mga kailangan natin kapag nag-evaluate tayo ng information. So, pag sinabi nating una, evaluate nyo muna kung reliable. So, tignan nyo kung yung information na sinabi or nakita ninyo or binasa ninyo, if it can be verified and evaluated. So, other refers to the trustworthiness of the sources in evaluating the reliability of the information. Puntahan nyo yung mga sigurado na mga talagang expert na mga website or sites na kung saan yan talaga yung pinag-uusapan nila o yung talaga expertise nila or legit sila na mga website. And next, we have the accuracy. So, accurate ba yung sinabi niya dyan? So, dito pag sinabing accuracy refers to the closeness of the report to the actual data. So, ang measurement of accuracy is depending on type of information being evaluated. So, let's say for example, yung forecast niya, similar dapat sa actual data. Pag financial yan, dapat yung values ay correct. Then, we have here the value. So, pag sinabi nating value, information is said to be a value if it aids the user in making or improving decision. So, dapat makita mo kung nung binasa mo ba yung data and information na yan, meron bang naging halaga or meron na-improve ba yung kailangan mo o nakatulong ba siya. So, malaki bang natulong niya o maliit ang naitulong niya doon sa information na kailangan mo. Then next, we have the authority. So, who authored or published the information? Kailangan malaman mo, is the source credible? May credibilidad ba yung source na pinagkuhanan mo? Hindi yung copy-paste ka lang ng copy-paste. Then next, we have the timeliness. So, ang timeliness, reliability, accuracy, and value of information may vary. So, nagbabago yung mga yan. Depende sa taon or araw or oras. So, ang accuracy, mawawala yan pag meron pang ulit mas bago na data. Ganun siya. So, it may become irrelevant and inaccurate with passing on time, thus making it less valuable. So, mas maliit ang magiging value ng data and information na yan pag mas outdated. Kaya mas maganda, marunong tayong magdig ng data which is timely. So, pero may mga other information may be timeless or hindi inoorasan. So, proven to be the same in reliability, accuracy, and value throughout history. So, kahit anong gawin yung data information na yan, hindi na timeless siya. Ibig sabihin, naka-stick na lang yung data information na yan. Pero may mga ganun pa rin mga data and information. The next we have here, the skills and determining the reliability of information. So, paano mo masasabing reliable? Una, tingnan mo yung author. Pangalawa, check mo yung publication or nag-update ba sila. I-check mo yung mga citations nung citations nung binabasa mo or kung meron silang pinagbasehan ng mga kiniklaim nila na data and information. And i-check mo yung domain or owner of the site or page. Kung .com ba yan, pang commercial yung mga laman niya, or .edu for educational, .mil, military, .gov is for government, and .org is for non-profit organization. So, dapat kung let's say for example, ganito yung hinahanap mong data and information, more on military purposes, ganyan. So, try mo, tingnan mo, magdig ka sa .mil. Mga ganyan ba na mga technique na kailangan nating maaral. And next, we have the skills in determining the accurate information. So, sabi niya dito, kailangan mo mag-look for the facts and mag-cross-reference with other sources for consistency, and mag-determine ng reason for writing and publishing the information. So, yan lang naman yung tatlong kailangan natin para may skills tayo sa pag-identify ng accurate na information na kinukuha natin. So, hindi dahil sa nabasa mo na yan, na ganun na mag-stick ka na lang doon. Kailangan tumingin ka pa ng ibang sources na mag-proof na ganun din yung claim nila sa information and data na yon. And always remember to look for facts lagi. Hanapin mo lagi yung mga reliable sources and determine the reason bakit nila pinablish yung ganong klaseng data and information. Kaya ang pinaka-safe dito, pag gusto mong malaman talaga na accurate yung information mo, huwag ka mag-stick sa iisang sources. Then next, ito yung mga pros and cons of the different types of media as source of information. So, ito lang ang nilagay ko. We had the books, magazines, newspaper, cinema, radio, World Wide Web, and the social media. So, start natin sa books. So, dito sa books, ang maganda sa kanya is transferable information and enduring medium. Samantalang ang mahina siya ay yung environmental issue and the costly or expensive. And next, we have also yung magazines and newspaper. Ang magazines or a newspaper is meron silang loyal readership, and nagta-target din sila ng geographical areas kung saan sila pwedeng magbigay ng data and information, and pwede mo ring i-share to others itong magazines and newspaper, ipasa mo lang, ganyan. Ang pangit lang kay magazine and newspaper is that valid lang siya for only a day, lalo na itong newspaper. And message can be lost because 60% are ads, and magazines have niche audience. Yan. So, ang use ng magazine is to find information or opinions about popular culture, to find up-to-date information about current events, and to find general articles for people who are not necessarily specialists about the topic. Example ng magazines ay yung DRAM, Time, National Geographic, yun yung mga sample ng mga magazines. So, ano nga bang gamit ng newspaper? Ang gamit ng newspaper is to find current information about international at national at saka local events, and to find editorials, commentary, expert, or popular opinions. So, ito yung mga sample ng mga magazines ay ng newspaper dito sa Pilipinas and the magazines here in the Philippines. Then next, we have the encyclopedia. Ang encyclopedias are collection of short, factual entries often written by different contributors na kung saan knowledgeable sila sa topic na yon. Ang encyclopedia nahati sa dalawa. Merong general encyclopedia at yung subject encyclopedia. Ang general encyclopedia provide concise overviews on a wide variety of topics. Samantalang ang subject encyclopedia, nagko-contain siya ng in-depth entries focusing on one field of study only. So, kailan ba ginagamit ang encyclopedia? Ginagamit siya when looking for background information sa mga topic natin, and pag naghahanap tayo ng key ideas, important dates, or concept. Kasi mostly ang encyclopedia nakasummary or nakabuod yung mga laman nila. So, one advantage is that it gives you a basic understanding of issues, people, events, at marami pang iba. So, magandang encyclopedia for elementary and some high school student. Ang isang disadvantage pa ng encyclopedia is that it is not in-depth enough, sabi nga dito, for college undergraduate. So, and graduate studies. So, kaya ang encyclopedia mostly maganda talaga sila sa elementary and high school student. And next, we have the academic journal. So, ang academic journal is a journal collection of articles usually written by scholars in an academic or professional field. So, ang editorial board reviews an article to decide whether they should be accepted. Ang articles in journals can be covered very specific topics of narrow field of research. So, kailan ba kailangan gamitin to? So, pag kailangan yung gumawa ng scholarly research para mag-find out what has been studied on your topic and to find bibliographies that point to other relevant research. And next, we have the cinema. So, ang cinema can be entered in local, international, film, festival, and competitions and reaches many demographics, literate or illiterate. So, madali lang kasing makapag-share ng knowledge or maglagay ng knowledge pag nasa cinema or cinema ang ginamit. Ang cons lang nito is expensive production, may or may not hold interest and attention. Kaya kung papansinin natin, pag may mga movies or may mga documentary, kung ano yung trending, doon lang yung tao. Pero pag ayaw lang nila yung isang movie, wala lang. Tapos ang mahal-mahal pa para makapag-produce and it consume time, money, and human power. And we have the radio. So, ang radio, trusted medium na yan with loyal followers. And community radio has loyal audiences interested in local activities. And nationwide events din si radio. Ang pangit lang kay radio is that niche market and audience will tune out and difficult to incite action and background medium. Sa television naman, the pros are quickly spread messages, improve credibility, and large-scale communication activities. Ang cons naman ni television is expensive, short and has to be repeated, advertisement can be skipped, and traditional TV is less watched by younger generation. Dito naman tayo sa World Wide Web o yung may kinalaman na sa mga websites, ganyan. So, a web allows you to access most type of information on the internet gamit ang browser. So, ang one of the main feature of the web is the ability to quickly link to other related information. So, the web contains information beyond plain text, including sound, image, and video. So, ang dami mo pwedeng kuhaning media dito sa World Wide Web. The important thing to do is when using information on the internet is to know how to evaluate yung mga data sa internet kasi napaka-crucial ang pagkuha ng data in information sa internet. Oo, mabilis mag-search sa internet, pero yun nga lang, ang labanan sa internet is the reliability of the data in information. So, kailangan gamitin ang World Wide Web. Ginagamit siya to find current information. So, find information about a certain companies or organizations, information from all levels of government, federal or to local, ganyan, to find both expert and popular opinions. So, madalas yung mga opinions. And find information about hobbies and personal interests. So, ang maganda kay World Wide Web is that main point of contact between user and audiences. So, acts as hub. Easy to access ang World Wide Web and 24/7 interaction with target audience. Ang cons naman ng World Wide Web is no quality control over sa mga data. Ibig sabihin, hindi nasasala yung data. Pwede ka lang mag-post ng nais mo. And high cost maintenance if constant ang updating. And wala nga, yung kagaya nga ng sabi kanina, kung walang data control, wala ding information control. So, yung quality ng data and information ang nagiging labanan sa World Wide Web. Then, we have also yung database. So, ang database contains citations of articles in magazines, journal, and newspaper. So, they may also contain citations to podcasts, mga blogs, videos, and other media types. So, some databases contains abstract of brief summary of the articles, while other database contain complete full text article. So, ito yung mga sample ng mga databases. Yung EBSCOHOS, Sabinet, Emerald, Science Direct, at saka EJS. Then, we have here now the social media. The social media, we have the pros niya, yung research the correct audience through hashtag and following relevant group. Mabilis mo silang mahanap. Mabilis mag-attract ng large number of people in short time. So, drive traffic to other communication actions, bring people together, gather information about the target, easy feedback, place for real-life experience to be exchanged, and give voice to timid people. Yun yung kagandahan sa social media. Ang cons naman ng social media is time consuming. Kailangan mong kailangan mo ng fresh content. And you cannot control the message on how people react to online content. And campaigns can get hijacked by dictators, and mistakes can happen in real time with thousands of witnesses. Negative feedback can't be ignored and do not capture tone, and bad news goes viral. Yun naman yung katotohanan sa social media. Mas madalas yung mga negative na mga news or articles ang nagiging viral o mas nakikilala. So, yan yung topic natin about media and information sources. Thank you for watching to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and click on bell icon to get notification on my channel. Salamat po!